Hey look, it's Big Clive's screwdriver. Also this thing. This is a motherboard out of a Chromebook. And I took it apart to replace the thermal paste because it was toothpaste, because even earlier I took this thing apart to write down all the numbers on the chip in a desperate attempt to find the PLL. And yeah, I didn't have proper thermal paste, but I do now. If I can see, I'm not lying. And it does actually work better than toothpaste. But yeah, not only that, I figured, why not also take a look at this? So, first off, the heatsink, here it is. And it goes on here, kind of like that. And when you take it off, it exposes the CPU and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 RAM chips. I think this thing has like 2 gigs. Honestly, something kind of frightening about this CPU is the bare die is exposed. I fucking hate that. It scares me, especially on like things like north and south bridges. They have a heatsink on them that mounts with a lot of pressure. So I feel like when you put it back on, that I'm gonna like fucking like chip or crack the die. And this should be triggering all of you. Delightfully devilish, Seymour. So as one would expect, we have all the traces going around into the RAM modules. Because, of course, the North Bridge is integrated into the modern CPUs. And someone has a runny nose. And, yeah. I think the South Bridge, the South Bridge is still a thing. But I think it's been renamed. And same thing with the North chip. I think it's called the System Agent. Whatever. So on the right side, of course, we have, well, of course. Why did I say we have lots of some inductors, decently sized surface mount capacitors and inductors, and I'm guessing those are MOSFETs. Well, basically, yeah, this is the power delivery part. How about I actually speak instead of having a seizure? And so that supplies the whole board with power. And for whatever reason, the Wi-Fi module isn't integrated, but is actually a separate card. So you could technically buy one of those adapters, plug it into here, and run a GPU off of this thing. It would be god awful, but you could technically do that. So, over on the left side of the motherland, we have some ports. And the screen connector, keyboard connector. Yeah, that's the touchpad. What the hell is that for? Oh yeah, that's for like the other board, for like the side connectors. And despite this being the right side of the motherland, this is the battery connector. And we have some more like power delivery stuff near the right here, probably for like CPU and RAM voltages. And we have this thing. What the hell this thing is, I have no clue. It might be something similar used in like the MacBooks. Over here we have our BIOS, which I actually flashed a UEFI on this thing because the stock firmware on these Chromebooks is absolutely fucking awful for running things that are not Chrome OS, as you would imagine. Here's the Trusted Platform Unit TPU. It just does encryption stuff, and yeah, quite generic stuff. And honestly, that's about it. Something really annoying about this is that under every operating system except Chrome OS, the onboard sound doesn't work. You can like connect to a Bluetooth speaker and it'll play, but onboard audio, nope. It just goes, fuck you, no audio. I don't know. Maybe I'll like get the kernel out of the Chrome OS image out. How do you even do that? Here's the NAND flash, 16 gigabytes, which really is not a lot, even for Chrome OS. In fact, it's quite surprising that I was actually able to install Windows 10 on this, which was actually surprisingly snappy. It wasn't a horrendous experience. Something about these dies is, modern dies, of course, not only are the transistors very tiny, but the dies themselves are on, like, somewhat, even like things like this are decently big, like on like random other things. Ran a box of decapped ICs on microscope sides box to the rescue. And where's one? No, that has something that I'm gonna show later. Like, was on, something like this, No, I take that back, even these are, decently sized. But, it's not nearly as big. Oh, that one, yeah. The hell is that from? I don't remember. I really don't. This, tiny one is, from, like, some 4-function calculator. I think that one is from a scientific one. I don't know. Really don't know. Now, the biggest I see in this box, well, from the box, is, this gold one that is unfortunately cracked. And this is, from a, engine management unit, engine control unit. The little gray box in the engine of a car that basically contains a computer. Yeah, that's decently sized. I keep remembering it as being bigger than it actually is. Let us measure it. It is, on the longest side, it is about 1 centimeter by 0.6, 0.7 centimeters probably around 0.5. This boy is about slightly less than a centimeter by about a centimeter, with which isn't much by like random computer stuff terms, because of course modern GPU dies can get like fucking huge. Like seriously, it's ridiculous how big they are, and amazing. Ugh. In fact, quite impressive how how small this board is. In like an older computer, like this Dell Inspiron 700M, which is not fitting in shot at all, so that was kind of redundant. The motherboard is about 2 to 3 times the size of this. In fact, this is not including the empty space, so is, well, what would it be? About 23 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters. Oof, I mixed up fractions and decimals in the metric system. Come get me at me, and maybe mess up what I'm saying. So yeah, that's not much a lot. There's pretty much nothing on this other side. I might actually just take this motherboard and like mount it onto like a block of wood, because the case for this thing is like just falling apart, which I'd account about like half of it to me taking it apart and stuff, and about half of it me holding it on one side, from one side with only one hand, which is kind of weird because this boy, I've done that quite a fair bit of times and it's still doing fine. In fact, the thing's about like 14, 15 years old, and it's other than cosmetics, it's still fine. It's not like falling apart. In fact, the hinge in well, the case is over there. The hinge in that case is one of them is broken, and I had to like fucking super glue. Yeah, this still works though. I really wonder what that is. I wonder if that's, does that generate all the clocks for the system? Because despite probably destroying this thing in the process, I would love to overclock this thing. Because why the hell not? Like, not only have I overclocked random stupid things like digital assistants and digital clocks, what else have I overclocked? Well, like that graphing calculator, the FXCG 550. I overclocked like an Athlon 64-3200 by like a tiny bit, by like changing the front side bus. Where is the thing? God, I am an idiot. Searching for something that's literally in front of me. I have this E-Machines that has like a Celeron D or whatever in it. I should probably like clean that. At like 3.2 gigahertz. I fucking like overclocked the thing to like, I think 4.6. around 4.6 gigahertz, which actually wasn't stable despite the first time it actually working. And again, I did that by like changing the front side bus. Although on that machine, it didn't change to PCI or RAM timing clocks. On the HP, it did. All of you are probably gonna probably screaming at me, and you're probably gonna scream at me more because I'm gonna apply some thermal paste. I swear to fucking God, and all that is well, in the name of God and all that is holy, I swear to God, if you criticize me for how I apply thermal paste, I will like, I don't know. Like, reply to your comment with, like, a fucking, like, hammer and sickle, I don't know. A random symbol. This, oh, fucking hell. Ugh. That's just crap. That is shit. Now, just like the back of this machine, there is a, plastic condom for like the top. I also like tried installing Windows 98 on this thing because why not? And that was back when this had still had its regular BIOS thing, and it had the legacy boot thing, which I actually got to the first stage of setup with the GUI and everything, but I couldn't control it at all. Which was extremely disappointing. Like, I don't know what. And maybe I should put this back on. That looks like a good idea. You know what else would be a good idea? Stopping the video right about now.